All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining another episode of College Conversations. College Conversations is a webinar series that we have created here in New Hampshire to help bring information to you all about the colleges that are in your backyard. A couple programming notes before we get into the conversation. My wonderful friend here, Mackenzie. We are recording this, so we will post it on our website after we have a little time for processing to get it back to you so you can refer back to it, share with somebody else. And the other piece to note is that while we bring this information, having these conversations with the colleges and universities across New Hampshire, Granite Edvance as an institution doesn't endorse any specific career pathway, any specific institution. This is simply an effort for us to bring some information about the colleges right here in New Hampshire to you all, the people who are either looking for a school yourself, maybe supporting a child, or if you're a school counselor or some sort of other advisor supporting larger cohorts of students. So with that, Mackenzie, we promised the good people watching that we would do these relatively quickly and not monopolize their entire lunch hour. But love for you to jump in, just give a little overview of who you are. And I should mention that Mackenzie's joining us from University of New Hampshire on the Manchester campus, right in the beautiful Mill Yard. But Mackenzie, tell us about you.
Thank you so much, Matt, and thank you so much for taking the time to host this today. For those that might not have heard about the University of New Hampshire, we do have the Manchester location. So I work as the Director of Admissions on the Manchester location. I've been myself in the realm overall of the higher education sphere for about 8 or 9 years now. I can't keep track, but I came on board here about a year ago after having been on the USNH Board of Trustees for 5 years. My first year being a student representative on the board. And then I was an alumni trustee from the UNH Online College for 4 years. So super excited to be here. Prior to my experience on that board, I also had worked at the Nashville Community College, where I was in charge of admissions there. I had been an enrollment specialist, so one of my favorite parts of the job. And in the role that I'm in now, I get to go to high schools and work with high school students, talking about their passion, talking about how you apply to college, talking about the financial aid process, and how we really make the college opportunity an affordable option for our students. And that has been, for me over the years, something that I've been able to take advantage of. And I was able to get out of college with no student debt whatsoever. And so, really being able to talk with students about the same opportunities that I've had, and really inspiring them to be able to accomplish their goals is really, again, my passion and why I love the work that I do.
Nice. And we've had an opportunity to work together in a number of ways in your different roles over time, and that passion's always really shine through. So, really excited to be having this conversation with you today, Mackenzie. And think about UNH Manchester specifically. Can you kind of talk a little bit about the typical student you serve, and maybe layer in a little bit about UNH Manchester's role in the higher education sphere in New Hampshire? Like, what's the unique role that UNH Manchester kind of brings to the state?
Yeah, so as I had said, I would say UNH Manchester is a small college and it is unique. And the fact that it puts a um, college degree within reach for students who otherwise might feel that it is impossible to be able to receive an affordable education. And so, without the cost of room and board, because we are like a school where you are able to live at home and go back and forth and commute, which is really nice, or students that might have to take out an unsubsidized loan. Again, we are that overall like affordable option. And so we have a bunch of opportunities for students to be able to receive like the merit aid. So based on the student's high school grade point average, we do award a lot of different opportunities for that merit aid to help students be able to receive that within reach for their degree as well. We also have the Milliard Scholars Program. And so that is a program where students who want to go into the STEM fields, which is also a really unique opportunity, have the opportunity based on their high school grade point average. It's around 3.7 grade point average overall for high school students in STEM fields who apply into our STEM programs at our college. And you can receive anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000, which overall can really, when you add that up over the years, can help get a whole year of year of your cost of tuition under your belt. And so that also is a really unique program that we offer on our campus. And we have a really personalized experience for our students. So our student to class ratio is around 9 to 1. So one instructor for every 9 students. And so at our institution, you are not just a number. You're able to get that personalized one-on-one experience. Everyone knows you. Our staff love our students and they're so passionate about the work that they do. And so I would say that that's really something that also makes us stand out. As Matt said, we're right in downtown Manchester. And so we're within like an overall walking distance. So our students get to participate in internship opportunities. We work with so many employers. And one of the programs that we're really known for right in the heart of Manchester is the biotechnology program. And so we partner with outside employers such as the Army, such as United Therapeutics, and so many others who actually host space inside of our building where they're participating in their work experience every day, and our students get to be a part of that. Our students participate in undergrad research opportunities along with our faculty. And so, it's not just a by the book learning experience. They're actually creating the real world solutions for problems that also exist in our communities. And that's something that our students talk about day in and day out. So I think that's really what makes us right here in Manchester. You are able to get the same value and unique quality and experience that a University of New Hampshire degree offers, but you're able to get it right here on like a smaller campus.
Awesome. And I took a tour of the biofab lab maybe a year and a half ago with Matt Simon, and I was blown away by the facilities on the either third or fourth floor of the Milliard buildings. I was like, I can't believe the research and that like the level of science that's happening in that space. I was absolutely blown away. It was such an incredible facility. So say there's a student who's says, you know what, I want to go into that biofab space or one of the other programs, which we'll touch on a little bit later. But talk us through what the admissions process looks like at UNH Manchester. As I've had these conversations with different admissions professionals, it reminds me that there's a phrase that I've used a lot at Destination College and in other forums that it varies so much by institution. So if we could kind of double click on just what that admissions process looks like for UNH Manchester to give
Yeah.
people who might be exploring that really clear, this is how I can get in.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Thank you. So I would say the overall admissions process right here in Manchester is a highly individualized experience for our student body. So from personal outreach, in our admissions office, we do have admissions representatives who go out and recruit on the road with high school students. But of course, our students also hear right from that admissions representative in our office. And so we do personalized phone calls, we do personalized student tours. Again, you're getting that personalized interaction with our admission staff, as well as our instructors who actually teach in our classrooms. We do fall open houses and spring open houses. And so if a student really wants to come and see our college, learn about our program, see our lab spaces, all of those sorts of things, we offer that as well. And I think, our admission staff and our process tends to really exemplify why our overall experience tends to be so unique. And I think that really stands out to any student who applies to our college. We meet with the student one-on-one. We help them explore what their next steps are, what programs they might be interested in, helping them apply through the online application, through the Common App. For students that might not want to do the Common App, we also have an online application through Slate, which tends to be a less extreme application, if you will, and students can complete it in a little bit less time than the Common App. So we offer a lot of different opportunities for students online through our online application as well. We have something known as stars. And so if a student, instead of being able to have their high school transcript sent, if they want to upload what classes they're taking, what grades they've received, all of that, that can also help us review a student's application within a few days instead of a student might need to wait a few more days longer than that because we have to wait to receive their high school transcripts. And so it helps us review their application at a faster pace. So we do offer that STARS opportunity as part of the Common App as well for students. And then after a student is accepted, we also host a in-person orientation, as well as like a Wildcat Welcome Day, where students really get exposed to all of the student life opportunities. They learn about our campuses. They get to pick what classes that they want to register for. So there's a ton of different opportunities. But again, our admissions team is really passionate about the student body that we help, and so we try to get our students on that student journey and help them every step of the way.
Nice. In what emissions deadlines do you have? Do you all participate in early decision, early action? Are you fully rolling? Um, and if you have any of the early decision, early action deadlines, what are those deadlines?
Yeah, so we do have the early action deadline. We also have like the regular decision deadline. And so the early action and the regular decision deadlines, of course, the student can find those online on our website, but of course around like that April 1st deadline would be like the regular decision. And then we also have the early action deadline as well.
Perfect. That's just helpful for students when they're planning kind of if they're considering UNH Manchester with other institutions. So, do you all require SATs or any sort of standardized tests for any of your programs?
So yeah, we do not require any of those. We really leave that option up to the student to be able to send those in. And so we really we kind of review a student's application overall, like as a holistic student, because we want to look at all aspects of their application. And so for us, like a strong applicant would be a student who knows what their goals are, who's involved in their community, who receives good grades in school. A student might also have, a job outside of school. And so we're looking at all of those aspects. Some students might have faced some sort of adversity in their life. And so how did they overcome that adversity? And so we try to provide a student every opportunity that we can to be able to meet their goals and provide them a fair chance as part of the acceptance process.
So somebody gets through the admissions process, right? They're admitted. Your team has given that great personalized one-on-one support. I know you touched on this a little bit in your introduction with the school because affordability is so core to your mission. But can you go a little bit deeper into what students need to do to access their financial aid and what financial aid looks like for you all?
Yeah, absolutely. So as I talked a little bit about before, we do have aids. So we do offer like the Merit Award scholarships based on a student's grade point average in high school. As I mentioned, 45% of our students are able to graduate with no student debt. So that's a really big stat that we're very proud of. For students who are Pell Grant eligible as well for our New Hampshire in-state colleges, we also have like the Granite Guarantee option. And so that really is another avenue to make a college education an affordable pathway for students. So that's an option that we always encourage any student who believes that they're Pell eligible to also explore because that can help you pay tremendously for college. We also have the free application for federal student aid, which pretty much every other institution uses too, but that's a great way to apply for Pell Grant and loans and all of those sorts of things. And so I would say overall, those tend to be what we use to help a student be able to provide an affordable education. And I talked about the Milliard Scholars Program as well for our STEM students.
Awesome. So it doesn't seem like you have any hoops or anything you kind of unique to that process as far as financial aid. It seems like you guys keep it pretty straightforward for the students. I'm sure that's appreciated
We
by
do.
the,
We
the
try to
people
help them
watching this.
as much as possible.
Awesome. So, all right. So let's take the next step in the student journey, right? They're admitted. Now they got a financial aid package. They say, I love it. I want to go to UNH Manchester. They pay their enrollment deposit. Now they're a student. What kind of supports are there to ensure the student is thriving in all aspects, whether it's academically, socially, interpersonally?
Yeah, absolutely. So we partner with NAC, which is both an in-person and online program. And so for our student body who might need additional assistance in their academics, they provide online help. And so that's a huge option, which I would really highly encourage students to be able to take advantage of, is receive the help that you need and don't be afraid to ask for that help. It can only help you do better in your classwork and all of those sorts of things, which long run will help you to be able to find a job and get exposed to internship opportunities and all of those things. And so taking advantage of the NAC in-person and online tutoring center is certainly huge. We also have the Writing Center, which is located on our main campus, which is located in Durham. And so that's another option which can provide help and support for all types of writing, no matter what class you're in. We also have the professional librarians, and those people help our students with research opportunities that they might have as part of a requirement, as part of their coursework. We are an undergrad research institution in R1 University, and so pretty much all of our students participate in some sort of undergraduate research as part of their classwork. And so our students have a ton of access to all sorts of different assistance. We have our CAPS office, which helps students find internships and jobs. If you need to write a resume or you want to learn how to do like a job interview, they'll do all of those sorts of things with you. We also have the advising office, and so our students meet one-on-one with an academic advisor and a peer advisor. And so you can meet with that advisor to go over what coursework you might want to take that semester. And we also have help in regard to like the mental health aspect. And so if the student finds that they might be struggling with their mental health, we also have a bunch of resources in that regard. And so we set our students up to do well in their classes. We want our students to stay with us, and we are going to do everything in our power to make sure that our students feel seen, heard, and also feel like they also belong on our campus.
Awesome. And as you were explaining the services, a question popped in my mind is what's is there a breakdown or a separation is a better word for what students who are UNH Manchester students can access on the Durham campus? Or if they're a UNH Manchester student, do they have access to the sporting events on the Durham campus and some of those additional resources that are housed in Durham? I'm assuming some of the UNH Manchester students will zoom into it, but if they wanted to go in person, do they have that ability?
Yeah, so a student can take a class on the Durham campus. In terms of the sporting events, that's actually something that as an institution we are exploring now, is to how to expand that partnership in regard to the athletic events on the Durham campus. So hopefully I'll have more to share on that front soon, Matt.
Awesome. And so I guess a couple rapid fire questions for you here as we're kind of nearing the end. Um, as we've talked a few times through the conversation that the biofabrication, regenerative manufacturing is something that UNH Manchester is really well known for, rightfully so, right? It's incredible that it's not this is an oversimplistic way to say it, but they're 3D printing our working hard, right? Like that's how my non-scientific humanities focused brains understand what you guys are all doing. But what are some of the other programs that you think UNH Manchester kind of deserves a little clout for that maybe fly under the radar?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that one of the programs that I don't think gets like enough attention is our programs in regard to the neuropsych as well as the psych program. Those are incredible programs, which, for a student that might want to go into the world of psychology or into the world of neuropsychology, there's so many research opportunities involved in those programs. And our instructors in those programs are incredibly passionate. You're able to get like real world experience. What is it like to be an intern in psychology? What is it like to be like a mental health counselor? And so you're getting exposed on, let's say, how to do like a neuropsych eval on if you had to be exposed to something like that in the real world. And so they're teaching you those real life skills, which I think is really, really neat. The other programs that I would talk about, we do have like a business program as well as an accounting program. And so as part of those programs, our students, of course, also participate as well as I've talked a lot about in like the research components in the internship experience as well. And so, I think those are programs where I also have a degree as well in psych as well as business. And so I've been able to really use that in the job that I have now and in all of the jobs that I've had from the time that I was able to get done with college. And so, I think the real world application and experience that you receive as part of these degrees will only help you in the long run. And so, I think sometimes we underestimate the real world experience you get as part of these degree programs. But you get to partner with people who work out in the business and industry so often in these programs. And our instructors also bring in that real world experience from their own personal experience throughout so many years of not only teaching in academics, but also they've lived your life as a student and they know how it is and they've had to work in the real world. And so they bring the skill sets that they've learned and they partner with employers to see what skill sets that the employers tend to look for in an employee that they want to hire in a job. And they're able to bring that back into the classroom and reinforce that with our students. So you're really prepared to go into the real world with those skill sets and experience that your employer might want.
That's fantastic. I love that application of like not just the book learning, but also the real world application because that might help bridge the experience gap, right? That some future employers might be looking for. All right, next rapid fire question for you. What is a myth or a misconception about UNH Manchester that you want to say, hey, it stops with me. This is what you need to know the truth about?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would be like a myth per se, but I think what I have found throughout my year of experience here is that some people don't know about UNH Manchester, or don't know that you can get a UNH degree right here in Manchester and that we're an offshoot of our main campus. And so, as I've said a lot throughout this webinar, is we're a smaller version of our main campus in Durham. And so while we're part of the University of New Hampshire, we are unique in that we have, our own community of students. We're right in the heart of downtown Manchester with so many employers around us where our students are going for internships and jobs. And we have a student experience on our campus. We have academic student clubs. So whether you're a biotech student and you want to get involved in a biotech club, or you're a psych student and you want to get involved in a psych club, those are all opportunities. And again, you have smaller class sizes. So with that 9-to-1 student faculty ratio, your professor knows you, our staff knows you. And so you're not in a class of one, or you're not in a class of 100 students where you might just be a number. We really want to get to know you. We want to know how you learn best and how we can help you on your academic journey. And so, we want, as I've talked a lot about too, we want to make sure that you feel like our college is the right fit for you. And so we're going to help provide whatever that is to make it happen so that you're able to pass your classes and do really well.
Awesome. And I feel like that kind of segues into my last question for you is if there's a student who's on the fence, right, trying to decide if UNH Manchester is the place for them, the institution for them. And I guess that could be any point in the funnel, right, in their decision-making process. Early on, am I going to apply there to, okay, they're in my final handful of schools. What's your advice to those students?
Yeah, I would say if you want to see if our college is the right experience for you, come take a tour, attend an open house. If that's our fall open house on October 17th from 9 to 12, or our spring open house. There's so many opportunities to come and explore. Call our office, come meet with us, meet us out on the road at a fair at a high school or at some event within the community. We're going to be attending the Nashville Back to School Night as well as the Manchester Back to School Night. And so we love being able to get involved outside in our greater community and meet all of the members of the community. That's what we're there for. And I think that's a large part of what makes UNH Manchester so special is that we really love what we do. We love being part of the Manchester community and our outside surrounding towns as well. And so I would say my biggest advice or piece of advice to students who might be applying or maybe are in 11th to 12th grade, 9th to 12th grade, is we also have an online program through the VLAX. And so if a student, might want to see what is the college experience like, enroll in a VLAX class where you can actually earn course credit as part of your overall UNH degree, and then transfer that back if your goal is to apply to our college. Maybe our college isn't the right fit, but at least you're earning a few course credits while you're still in high school. And again, when you come on tour or you explore us online, make sure that we are the right fit for you. And I say that about any institution. You really want to make sure that you feel like that you're a part of that community and like you also belong and that the academic program fits your needs. Because if you don't feel that, you likely won't be able to be as successful in your program. So just making sure that that fit is the right opportunity for you. And Matt, I just want to end with, I know we had talked about the application deadlines, and I think I misspoke on that. So I just wanted to clarify, but our early action deadline, if you want to apply early action and have us review your application faster, is on November 15th, and then the regular decision is on April 1st. I think I had said early action was April 1st, so I meant regular decision is April 1st. So definitely we would love to have you. And I look forward to meeting so many high school students on the road within the next few months.
Awesome. I love the advice about coming to visit campus. This is maybe, I'm going to probably say the wrong number, but my eighth conversation in the college conversation series. And every person, every admissions person's advice has been to either visit or connect in some way or another to really understand how you feel in that space, right? And I remember back to my days in an admission shop, I used to say to somebody, if you're not happy the moment when you wake up in the morning, the first time you open your eyes, when you close your eyes each night, you're not going to get the best out of your academic experience. So that fit, that interpersonal fit might be the biggest key to unlocking the best college experience that you can have. So, yeah, I love the advice. It sounds like a really solid, good advice for those people trying to determine that next step. And that also feels like a really good place to wrap the conversation today, Mackenzie. So I really appreciate you taking some of your lunch hour to have this conversation with me and the folks watching, and hopefully the number of folks who will watch it on our YouTube channel. Folks, if you want to learn more, you can head over to UNH Manchester's website, reach out to Mackenzie or her team in the admissions office. Their job is to talk to you and be a support for you. And I think you've heard that shine through in all Mackenzie's comments. So, Mackenzie, any final words before we stop recording and head over to Q&A?
No, I would just say, we have online platforms too. So if you are on like your online platforms, so Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, we have a page on all of those channels. So if you want to see what our student body is up to, events that we're attending, definitely go on, like and follow those pages.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Mackenzie. We'll hop off recording, go over to Q&A. So if anybody has any more personal questions they want to ask, that they are able to. So thanks, Mackenzie.
Perfect. Thank you, Matt.